Welcome back to the Punch channel. We're looking at the game Belyy. This is the scenario Belyy Thrust, and this is part of the Silent Dead series by Legion Wargames. Designer Greg Blanchett. This is the Battle of Belyy, if you will. It is a part of Operation Mars in November of 1942. It is a counteroffensive that went on basically launched a few days after the start of Operation Uranus, which famously encircled the 6th Army at Stalingrad. So this is in the Army Group North sector, and we are some distance west of the city of Rzhev. So the idea here is that the Soviet forces on this part of the offensive will be driving to the east and will link up with forces coming from the vicinity here of Sychevka, and they start off roughly in this area here with a planned link up here at the near the Dnieper River. That's what this river is right here. So this is a very large overview of what we have here. This is the beginning of turn 2, the Soviet part of turn 2, and you can see that we have a relatively static defensive line here. I will note that some of the initial forces have shifted south. That happened in the turn 1B. We see that the artillery has shifted south to basically get to better positions from which to provide artillery support. So what we have here at the end of turn 1B, beginning of turn 2, is the Soviets have gone through, here I'll zoom in a bit. Whoa, too much. Okay, the action really is here, and this is the breakthrough in the center through the village of Klemyatin. You can see that Belyy is holding out defensively against the Soviets. We have the 2nd Luftwaffe down here holding at Demehki against actually fairly fierce, what do you call it? Fairly fierce attacks coming from the Soviet units in the area. Now I'm playing a variation of the game in which 41st Army, that's Tarasov right here, that's its headquarters, 41st Army is going to be operating at full strength. This is called the what if variant for this scenario, and the what if variant involves utilization of 2nd Mechanized Corps. That's these forces here. They are now active as of turn 2. Also the 47th and 48th Mech battalions, Mech brigades are active as of this turn. I think I may have mentioned this before, but I'll do the quickie recap. So thinking about what to do with 2nd Mech, right? They're not committed. They could go in multiple directions. They do need really to stick together to have the most impact. And as I see it, they could go to one of 5 places. They could go up here towards the village of Nestorovo and attempt to break through and cross the Absha further upstream, where it becomes really a stream rather than a river, and proceed on from there. They could they could engage closer to Belyy down here and attempt to maybe encircle Belyy. They could join the forces attacking from the east, but there are already plenty of forces, and the stacking limitations argue against that. Now there's nothing preventing them from going through the center and coming in from the other side, but that is for a future turn. They could go straight up the center and join in the breakthrough, or they could work the shoulder down here near Demehki and attempt to widen the breakthrough there. I'm going to go ahead with what I think would have been the proper role for 2nd Mechanized, and I'm going to use them as a breakthrough. As an exploitation unit. So they're going to come straight up the middle through Klemyatin and look to exploit to the east towards the victory conditions. So let me see, yeah. the victory condition hexes, they do include Belyy, but they also include these marked hexes here, and I'll spare you my pronunciation of the Russian names. All right, so that sort of sets the stage for what's going on here. So this is the start of turn 2. This is the as I understand it, 26th of November, 1942, and we will get underway shortly. Well, let's get some attacks declared here. This is the big picture, and this is probably undoubtedly where I will be doing all of my attacks. So I'm going to bring my fire support and my supported attack markers over. Get zoomed in a bit. So I'm going to attack there and there. And you know what? I think I'd like to attack into there. And I am going to need these declared attack markers. So let's just be sure I know what I'm doing here. And then attack 2 will be let's see there. And of course I'm going to need, what, 24 in that one. 554 will be in that, and I will take 16 and that. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do that attack will be my 3. I don't believe he gets any artillery support there. Nope. So we'll just see what happens. Got an attack here, no artillery support. Kind of outrun a bit of my artillery support here. I will attack here. Oh, I suppose I ought to. Yes. Okay, and we'll attack there, no artillery support as well. Okay, a couple are left, and so I'd really like to open things up here. And 1098. Then I've got that one will be right there, and that will be my last supported attack. That's number 8. That's all I get. Alright, so attacking pretty much all along the front, attacking up in Belyy, the Belyy vicinity. We've got some attacks down here in the vicinity of Demehki. Yep. Oh, and the Germans get a say in this in terms of artillery. So how am I going to do that? I happen to have the artillery markers for them, I suppose. So let me see if I can find them. So this is 246. fire support will be here. Hold on. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. And then I get a fire support down here. And I've got my choice of that or that. Not great choices either way, are they? So this is Artillery 2 Luftwaffe. And he will be here. Alright, that's what I had. So we'll proceed to work out these combats. Right, on to combat resolution itself. I'm going to do attack 1 with, that is an A, right? That's an A, so he's 6, 7. 7 and doubled is 14 for the entrenchment. And the attacking Soviets are running 8 plus 6 is 14. Well, that's 1 to 1. Base odds 1 to 1. Soviets are bringing 2 arty, and that is going to make it 3 to 1. Let's see. 1 engineers also gives me 1 eng is another right shift for 4 to 1, and that's the high end 134. Unfortunately, I believe I need all 3 of these 134th units to get the like a brigade or sorry, it's some kind of integrity shift to the right, I believe. Yep. Okay. So 4 to 1 is the max. Now I've got a shift. I've got a fire support shift right, or left rather. 1 arty is going to shift it back to 3 to 1. So that's our odds. I'm going to do the snow roll. We are still in heavy snow this turn. And we get a 3. Let's bring up some charts here. Chartage. Right. So heavy snow, 3 is a no effect. Okay. No effect. And so we're dropping dice on a 3 to 1 in the clear. A 4. Clear 3 to 1. With a 4 is a DR2, Defender Retreat 2. Well, that's what that is. Well, I have that there all the time. Oh, there you go. Let's see. So Defender Retreat 2 is going to put me at a, let's see, I'm going to have to flip, not great, and eliminate to Deadpool, and that's my R2, and now we'll do a retreat table roll, which is a 3, actually, sorry, hexes converted to steps, yeah, 2 hexes, so we are right here. Plus R1, but that only is for unfulfilled retreat hexes, and we sucked everything up. Okay. So that's that. And we'll go declared attack 2. Oh, by the way, that was a DR2. DR2 taking his casualties. Okay, up here, let's pull these off. Right, this is attack 2. And I have 7 is doubled to 14. I am making the assumption that the second number here, this 2, 3, I'm making the assumption that the 2 is an attack and the 3 is a defense. And I'll keep going with that. So on the attacking side, I have to pull a chit. Hope it's good chit. And I've got my chits over here. So my chit is Bravo, which is 8. Okay, and 8 plus... Yep. Okay, 8 plus 6 is 14, and I'm going to take the armored unit, 9 of the 19th Mech Brigade. I'm going to take him as his cadre side, which is a 1, just to be sure. Cadre side is 1, and that gets me under the stacking restriction, but it gives me the brigade shift, brigade integrity shift. So where was I? I was at 9, sorry. Let's see. Come on. 9 plus 6 is 15, 16. And this final unit has a stacking dot, so cannot participate in the attack. So 15 to 14 becomes a 1-to-1 base odds. I've got 2 already shifting to 3-to-1. I've got the brigade 4-to-1. And that's it. I'll go snow. Is no effect. And let's drop some dice on that. It's a 5. So we are 5-to-1 in the clear. That is this column right here, and we have a 5, which is an A star D1 R3. A star D1 R3. Huh. Okay, that's not so good. So A star, and then I'll deal with the D1R3 first. So I need to take up to 4 hits here. So that is a 1. There's no village there, is there? Nope. Okay. And let's just make sure. Snow effects. I'm looking at the right over here. No leaders. Did I have any engineers there? Negative. Okay. So formation integrity, I got one of those. All right. Then the defender, no air, snow accounted for, not in the village. No stream in effect. Not dealing with Soviet formation integrity. In the defense, no leaders, no artillery support. Defender has nope, and no rubble. So yeah, that's what it was. So I've taken 1. Now I need to take 3 more. So 1, 2, cadre 3, and at that point I return to deck. So okie dokie, I took 3 and I'm defending, so I might, let's do the retreat roll is a 6. So retreat roll is a 6. That puts me at DR2. We'll drop down to a 4, right, for defending in entrenchments, just to be sure. So I have a DR1. I have to take a retreat whether I like it or not. And there's really only one place to go, which is right there. Okay, advance after combat will be these folks. All right. Okay, I think that'll do it for now. I will come back and do some more attacks, and we'll see how we are going here. So I've got the fire support, clean up, and we'll just stack up these supported attacks here. We'll come back and we'll start doing the other attacks. See you in a moment. Continuing on, we're going to do attacks 3 and 4, and we'll go on from there. So attack 3. It's this attack, and we have an 8 in entrenchments, double to 16. And it looks like we're going to have to draw a red chit. So let's proceed to do that. And what do we get? We got an 8. These big battalions, or big regiments rather. So we got an 8, and all I can do is flip this guy over to his, and a 1. So he is an 8. 8 to 16. So that's not so good. Maybe not what I was hoping for. And I've got no artillery in this attack. That's not such a good deal. So we are at 1 to 2 base odds. We are all coming across, all the forces are coming across a stream, so that becomes a 1 to 3. And I believe that is it. There's no artillery on either side. There's no engineers. Nothing that's going to shift the odds in any direction. So we are 1 to 3 in snow. Oh, 4. Snow is no effect. Only the D1 there. Okay, so I'm going to roll for the 1 to 3, and we have a 6. And this is a clear 1 to 3. With the 6 is an A1 R1. So A1 R1. Let's bring this back out. And just to be sure, 1 to 3, clear, 6 A1 R1. So the attackers are going to take 1 and then retreat. And I suppose I can retreat. So he's that, he is that. That's the easiest one to do. That's my A1. And then my R1 will simply be a recoil back to, whoa, undo, recoil back to here, and we'll keep the declared attack. Okay, overstacks are permitted in a, if I recall correctly, overstacks are permitted in a retreating situation. They have to be dealt with shortly, but they're fine now. Okay, supported attack, attack number 4. Okay, attack 4, and I need a blue, and that's it. So let's pull a blue. Well, not the best of luck there. Okay, so defender is 5. And attackers are going to be 10 and another, yeah, 10 and 10. So 20 base is a 4-1 base odds. No artillery in effect, but let's see, we've got 150 and hold on. 150 and 150, but the question in my mind, is there another 150th around here? And I don't see it. I could be off base, but I think think that's it. Okay, I may have missed it, but I don't think so. So we have a brigade, we have an integrity in the attack, which takes us to 5-1. Snow, heavy snow rather, we have a 2, and that is again no effect. Die roll of 6, and we are a, what did we say, 5-1 on clear. Alrighty, so 5-1, and we'll come down to the 6th column, and that is a defender retreat 2. Right, so well, I can take 1. Bear with me, I'm going to take a look at the back side, and it's 3. And hold them there. Or I could try and retreat 1 into the woods, for which there is something to be said, but I think I will go with what I've got. So I'll take the 2, and then I'll do my retreat roll. Now that's interesting because I've got a good likelihood of having to retreat anyway. Well, I got to do it. So I'm on the 2 table with no modifiers, and I'm going to have to roll a d6, which gets me a 1. Hallelujah. And a 1 is a no retreat result right there. So he holds. Okay, holding hard there. Right, let's do attack number 5. Now it's likely, given the length of this video, it's likely that I probably won't be doing a whole lot of these attacks in the future. I'll probably just sum up a lot of what's going on in the turns, because we're up to the half-hour mark plus, I think, at this point. Okay, we've got a 1 in the woods, and we've got a, what we got coming in? 5 and 5, 10-1. Wow. Yeah, you don't want those low defending odds. So 10-1 is in the woods, and it turns out that 10-1 is the max column, so 10-1. Let's see, also I've got a brigade integrity, but again we're at the max odds, so I think that's about it. Does snow get us anything? Because that's about all these guys have going for them, and there's no effect. Okay, die roll, 11. Okay, this is going to hurt. We are on the woods 10-1. We got an 11. D2R4. All right. Yep, that's definitely going to hurt. Okay, he is eliminated to the dead pool. And I can do a retreat, so I can do an R4. Let's take him out there. And because it's an overrun, I could actually, okay, I don't have any mech available here, so let me get those out of there. So that's my 1. Now, let's get this out of there. Very good. Right, really all I can do is, and I have to go retreat, notional retreat path, I suppose. Well, he's not, okay, so the cadre unit that was present here is probably going to retreat back here. I don't know if he gets stopped by a zone of control. I have to look that up. But under the circumstances, I think I will just simply go there as being the most straightforward thing to do. I might have to retcon that one. I'll eat it if I have to. But at least this is reasonably plausible. Okay, attack 6. Okay, we get a blue chit. I'm hoping for a good one. 7, not horrible. Okay, so we have 8 plus 10 is 18. No, it's not 18. We have 8 plus 1 for cadre is going to be 9. And over here we have 14, so we have 23 base. 23 base versus, I believe this was a 7. 7. 7. So that is 3 to 1. Now, I've got a brigade integrity there. I've got a brigade integrity here. And I also have an armor shift. Now, question, can I get an armor shift in the woods? Woods says nothing to the extent that I cannot do it. Yep, okay. So I'm going to get integrity goes to 5 to 1. Combined arms goes to 6 to 1. No artillery, no other modifiers. Going for snow. 5. That could be consequential. Yep. Okay. So we have a 1 left. Right. 1 left is going to be back to 5 to 1, and we're in the woods rolling dice. 9er. And we are woods, 5 to 1, 9. A star D1 R2. A star D1 R2. All right. So, I'm going to have to take a casualty from somewhere. And let's just do that one. So, D1 R2. It's D1, and then R2. Great gaping holes here. I'm going to take another one, flip, and R1. Okay, and I'm going to have to do a roll on the retreat table on the 1 column. 4. 4 is a plus R1. Darn it. Okay. Woods or road? Woods. All right, and we'll do our follow-up here. Hello. Yeah, we'll lead with these guys. 1, 2. 1. Clean up. And we're there. Okay, attack 7. It's not taking a whole lot of time. It takes the time it takes, right? So this is going to be a big one. We've got I put my fire support over here. Well, go figure. Might have been better to go over here, but we'll see. So this is an A and a 6, and I'm entrenched. And I'm not in a town, but I'm in woods. So it's going to be 12, doubled for the entrenchment. Then my attacking factors, okay, I can use 4 of those. So that's what I will, 3, 2, 3, yeah. So 5 out of that first hex. Go with 12, 13, 14. Note the engineers. Takes us up to 19. And over here we are 6, and 4 is another 10. So 29 to 12, which is 2 to 1. engineers is 3-1, and we have brigade and brigade. So 2 integrity, Soviet formation integrity max 2. So that takes us up to 5-1. And I've got a fire support shift, RT 6-1. Snow, 5. 5 is going to be a 1 left. This takes us back to 5-1 woods. To be precise, rolling dice, we get an 8. All right, 5-1 on the woods with an 8 is a DR2. Okay, it's not horrible. Now the problem I've got is I've only got 2. I'm out of that hex one way or another. So let's clean up a little. Do I preserve the unit? I could retreat 2 and preserve the zone of control on the unit. And there's something to be said for that, because we're getting leaky here. Or I could suck 1 up, go to cadre, and retreat 1. Not wild about it. I could retreat 2, and I wind up in the clear. Yeah, I'm going to preserve some force. So 2. Great. Well, hold on. Supposed to hold hard here. Let's make it 1. Flip to cadre, return to deck, and this is my roll for retreat, which is a 3, and that is a no retreat roll, so we'll take that. Right, and my advance after combat, this, we'll come back after a few. Okay, let's pick up again with that attack number 7. Needed to do the advance after combat, and so the question is, let's put our best foot forward here. They're okay. These guys are actually maybe a touch better because we'll get the shift. So let's bring them over, and there. That's what we get. Okay. Well, let's finish up here. Let's wrap up with this last attack, again in the vicinity of Demehki. And we've got fire support on both sides. So we have a Bravo 2. Okay, so attack 8. 2 becomes a 4. That's what it is. And coming in, we have 2 stacks, so we're going to get an 8 from the infantry and a 1, the cadre side, from the armor. So that will be a 9. Right, and on the other stack, we get a 7, 8. So that's going to be a total of 17, which is 4-1. We have RT 5-1. What do we got here? We got integrity, just 1 integrity. Integrity 6-1. And then we have fire support coming back the other way. FS makes it 5-1. Snow. Yep, that's going to be a 1 left, so that's going to be a 4-1. Okay, going for the roll here. We are in the clear. 4-1 in the clear for a 6. Let's bring in the chart. Right, so 4-1, 6. Oh, did I have engineers? If I had engineers, let's say, okay, I did not. So 4-1, 6 is an A1, D1, R1. A1, D1, R1. Alrighty, let us assess. Well, the obvious thing to do here is we're going to
return that to deck and flip to cadre, and you know, my options are not good. If I attempt to suck up the retreat, now I'm not in a town, right? So I guess I'll go there. See, I could suck up the retreat and the unit would be dead, in which case they're going to get an advance after combat anyway, and we'll go with these folks advancing after combat. So at least preserve some force, and the unit itself will bodily block them from this particular hex. Alright, let's do some cleanup here, here, and I'll just stash the marker there. So that's my fire support, that's my supported attacks. So what have we got going on here? Well, the Soviets have broken through a bit towards the south in this area, and they've made some headway up here towards Belyy. I mean, not much that you can do about it when you're getting good odds and causing casualties turn after turn. So yep, so that's pretty good, and we don't even have 2 mech in here yet, so we'll see how that goes. So that's pretty much it. All that's left here is clean up. In terms of the sequence of play, supply phase is useful, but now I don't have a zone of control, but I am blocking, so let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm 5 hexes past that unit, which I believe is correct for supply determination. So I think that was the only unit that was really out on the edge relative to supply. So I think we're good. Engineering phase, I don't have anything going on. So next we will resume with the German player turn. I suspect at this point, given the length of the videos, I will probably just sum things up. I might do a move summary, combat summary, maybe a move, fire, if you will, and wrap the turn in one relatively short video, or I could do a series of shorts, but we'll see what happens. So I'm going to zoom back out briefly, and we can see what's going on here. So we've got Soviets are on the hunt here. They've got most of a breakthrough here in the center, but the Germans have been delaying them. The situation is fairly grim. They've been basically kicked out of Demehki at this point, but if you look at what's left, they got 2 cadre units. Now I suppose if I'd shifted this unit over to Demehki, then fine, but again, great gaping hole here. It's just a question of where do you want it to hurt, and perhaps that's an interesting choice. Okay, so we'll see what happens next turn, and yeah, I think it would be interesting maybe to do a detailed, you know, get several reps in and see what it takes to knock down Belyy. The Soviets have the forces in the area with which to do it, and to do the same thing here in Demehki. This is where the Germans historically held their ground, but the question becomes, how long can they hold their ground? Because it won't be forever. So we are on turn 2. That is the 26th of November. So this is the second, well, effectively it's sort of a third turn of the battle. The Soviets have had 3 goes at combat. So we'll just see how it goes. Anyway, having fun, and we're continuing on. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you down the road.